Men, the podcast.
Yes, this is Men, the podcast. I think every time I say this is, they should respond with Men, the podcast. It has been a signature, yani imekuwa ni kama kielelezo chetu cha kutambulisha ever since we started doing this. But yeah, this is Men, the podcast. Ambapo, as you know, we discuss everything men, but pretty much about mental health, what we go through as men, what we've been through, experiences, lessons, some experience nyingine zilikuwa mbaya in the past, lakini namna gani zimetushape. Kuna nyingine bado ni vitu ambavyo tuna struggle navyo, lakini tunajitahidi kuheal as long as tumejua. Kuna vingine ni matokeo ya mapokeo ya jamii na namna gani jamii yetu ilivyotujenga na kutuwekea either mitazamo au maono au maelezo fulani au aina fulani ya direction ambayo sisi kama wanaume tunaifuata, na kwa namna gani hiyo direction either inatucost au inatujenga. Kila kitu ambacho kinahusiana na wanaume na afya ya akili, this is the spot to be, or this is the place to be. Mimi naitwa Michael Baruti, usually na kuaga na Nadia, but she join us way later. She's got other things to do today, but it's so good. Kama you want to reach out to Nadia, who's our resident psychologist, it's through Mind Matters. So it's at Mind Matters TZ on Instagram and at Mind Matters TZ on Twitter. There's a link kwenye bio yake, and then itakupeleka kwenye website, and then pale unaweza kuzungumza naye na akakupa either this counseling, therapy and everything ambavyo unahitaji kuhusiana na swala zima la mental health. As men, please go to therapy, inasaidia sana. Tumeona watu ambao wameenda therapy na wamekuja wametoa testimony ya namna gani imewasaidia. So if you want to do better, then you should know better. Na knowing better involves we kwenda therapy na kuweza kujitafuta. So please do that. I'll never ever stop saying that. At Men the Podcast on Twitter, at Men the Podcast on Instagram and Facebook as well. Kama unataka kutuambia chochote, you wanna reach out to me, to Nadia, kuna topic unataka kuzungumzia, kuna issue unataka kuzungumzia, anything lakini inahusiana na wanaume, please, this is the place to be. So yeah, my guy.
Yes.
Mambo vipi?
Salama kabisa.
Uko poa?
Niko salama kabisa.
Kwanza kabisa, thank you for doing this.
No, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, it's been a long time, yeah. We've spoken and a lot of other things. Vikaingia, yeah. I think I started looking for this thing since December last year. And then through Ben Oden, shout out to Ben Oden for making this happen. Nikaongea na Ben Oden kwamba look, this is something I need to discuss. I need him to anaweza kazungumza. Ben akaniambia chill out. And then after a while he reached out.
Yes.
Akaambia you can reach out to this guy but only in February. I'm like, cool, sawa. And then February ikapita. Now we are in March.
Now we are here.
But it's happening. So thank you.
Muda wa bwana.
Yes, kunasema muda wa bwana ni muda sahihi.
Muda sahihi kabisa.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is Alexis Kwamy.
Yes.
Should we say Alexis or Alex?
Alexis is good.
Alex is good, yeah?
Yes.
Alexis Kwamy. So Alexis Kwamy leo ametualika kwake. We actually tuko kwenye his home office. The wall is beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Decorated with a lot of, I would say, certificates and achievements,
All credit to my wife, not to me.
Trust me, I understand. I was going to say the same thing, like, this cannot be you.
No, I can't do this.
Yeah. So, yeah, but thank you for having us here.
Yeah,
thank you for willing to open up about this thing.
No, thank you.
So, before I get into the details, I want to give it a little bit of a background context,
yes.
right? As to why tunazungumzia hichi kitu. So sometime last year, somebody sent me a tweet. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mtu alinitumia tweet. Hii tweet ilitoka 27th of June 2022. Mm-hmm. This is how long we've been planning to do this.
Wow.
Yeah, this is how long I've been walking around, but this has to happen, right? So in this tweet, somebody say... So the guy who tweeted this is actually Kenyan.
Yeah.
Somebody, Ramsey, shout out to Ramsey on Twitter. So Ramsey said, I went for a road trip with married Wababas. And let me tell you, silence and withdrawal of sex and affection are being used to abuse, or, kwenye brackets, panel beat, amesema less problematic term, a lot of men who choose to readjust their wants and needs to accommodate that stuff out of shame. Akasema kwamba the second tweet was, the thing about men is we laugh everything off in our discomfort. One guy asked another one, wewe unajua umekaliwa, kubali tu kubali kwanza to explain, and we all burst out laughing ya ukweli, until it's too late. Ndio maana your married homies wakipull up, the first thing they want to know is wapi mademas.
Yes.
Yani married men wakiingia sehemu wanaweza tu kwanza kuna wanawake, kuna mabinti, you know what I mean? Akasema, by the way, men do this to boost their confidence. Most time they aren't expecting a lay, but if it happens, oh well. I think the concept kwamba you're looking for other women is not like you're looking to sleep with them, but if it happens,
all good.
You know what I mean? So after that, it became a long thread on Twitter with women also chiming in like there's no excuse, cheating is cheating, all those kind of things. But the essence ya mimi kutaka kuzungumza na wewe leo is hii hapa, nataka tuitumie kama a startup, as in building up to what we want to discuss.
Yes.
In the sense that sex in marriage.
Yes.
That's basically what tunataka kuzungumza. Sex in marriage from a man's perspective.
Yeah.
Right? From a man's perspective. We've met now. Okay, this is going to be one of those episodes, guys. So if you're uncomfortable, feel free to go and listen to other episodes. This is episode number 67. So we have 66 other episodes. You can go back and listen to them.
Here we'll call a cat a cat.
Yeah, but here we're going to call a cat a cat. And it's two brothers talking. So
Yes.
we're going to keep it as real as possible. Right?
Yeah.
So one of the things ambavyo we speak about as men, tuko kwenye spaces zetu, whether it's the bar, whether it's anywhere ambao wanaume wanahenga, whether it's kuangalia football na vitu kama hivyo na nini, ni swala zima la sex.
Yes.
Na tunazungumzia namna gani ndani ya ndoa sometimes it is not as it seems once you're outside of it.
Yeah.
I think we go outside of ndoa, you're like, yes, this is something you gotta do every day na nini. Lakini ukiingia ndani ya ndoa, you find out kwamba it is not as, yani haipo kama ambavyo watu wengi wanataka kuielezea wakiwa nje ya ndoa.
Yes.
So that is why I want us to tuanzie hapo kwamba what has been your experience, Alexis, kwenye swala zima la sex ndani ya ndoa, and how has it been for you?
Yes. Well, I will say the first thing is kila mwanaume kabla hajaoa, they have this idea of, sex should be like this nikioa.
Yes.
And in fact, mafikiri yao ni kwamba ukiingia kwenye ndoa, but sex should be 24/7. Wakati unapata tu unataka kupiga unagonga.
Yes.
But that's actually not true, and I was one of them too. And the truth really is tunapata these wrong ideas from uongo ambao we feed ourselves with. From different things, from other men talking to us, from watching porn, from it's all those combined. And the second thing is guys thinks like I want when nikioa lazima hapo anione, atanijua. Well, reality will hit quick and very hard, and that will be the first disappointment. And if you are not good kuwa na watu ambao unaweza kuongea nao who have been in this before you na kuwasikiliza, you will end up places that you shouldn't. And the truth is, as men, tukiona mwanamke lazima usimame. Lazima we are more visual. Psychologists will tell you men are all visual. Hata mwanamke kichaa kipita hapa na amevua nguo, ukweli ni tuambizane tu. Kuna watu they will cover the face of the kichaa and see the boobs and other part. Ngoma imesimama.
We have a saying tunasema cover the face, deal with the base.
You fire the base.
Cover the face, fire the base.
So that's really how us men are. And that's not our fault. This is how God created us, by the way. We never created ourselves. God is the one who created us this way. And a lot of men goes into a marriage and thinking like, unajua, now when I'm in marriage and I'm getting sex in marriage, I probably will not feel the need of having sex somewhere else. That's not true. If you think that if someone tells you kwamba when you are getting married hautajaribiwa ama hautatamani mwanamke mwingine, no, that's completely wrong.
It's a lie.
I was 32 years old when I got married, and my wife was 21 years old when when we got married. So I'm 11 years older than my wife. Now you can imagine entering to that, felt like I knew the world better than her.
Yeah.
Felt like I had more experience, and I did have my own ideas of sex. I had watched porn. Na kulikuwa na mastyle zote nasubiria saizi tukiingia huku don't practice twice.
Yeah.
But then it did not take long to realize no. That is not true. In fact, one other thing that's crazy that I realize as being married now is when you are dating, those women, they can actually do all the craziest thing that they could to you. Once you are in the house, they will not do it.
I mean, pause. Hapo nataka niulize. So it's true what you're saying. It's true.
Yeah.
Now, it's not a secret. It's true, right?
It's true.
Do you think men somehow tunauziwa kwa lugha ya Kiswahili mbuzi kwenye gunia in that sense kwamba you used to do it like this before you got married, but now that you're married, I want what you used to have before you got married, but now it's pretty much asipati hicho kitu, kwa hiyo tuna use that excuse kwamba we're going to look for it outside somewhere else.
So a lot of men, that is, and let's be honest.
Yeah.
If before getting married, you are going after different women, of course they will do anything that they want you to do because they are gaining something out of it, and there's no emotional attachment. So ukitaka binuke kama Kilimanjaro, atakubinukia kama mlima Kilimanjaro. Whatever you want. But then this same woman, you'll hear this word, I'm not your whore. All right, I am not your whore. And as men, we have this, how do you call it? Tuna hiyo mafikiri yetu ambao ni our fantasy is, I wanted this. Because sometimes, easy porn zinatudanganya.
Sana.
You want your wife to bring the sauti ambao mwanamke anatoa kwenye porn. That's actually, she's making it. It's not real.
And I think tunasahau kwamba porn is pretty much performance.
It's complete. It's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a performance.
It's a performance.
By the way, there is no proper orgasm in porn. Hakunaga kitu kama hicho. They are performing. Now if you want your wife to be fake and performing, this is not marriage. Marriage is a different reality. For those men who are out there who are struggling with their marriage, number one, I'll tell you, I did this, because I was there too. I convinced my wife to watch porn with me. Because I thought, okay, let's do it. Maybe that will help you to see what I'm getting. She felt very disgusted about it. She felt that I did not respect her body. And she's like, so is this really what you want me to do for you? And then I realized, actually, probably no. If I really love you, I probably will not want that. I mean, if you really love your wife, you will not want to have a threesome with your wife. Because she becomes a thing. She's not a person. So, and I had to just reach a point of myself, say, you know what, I'm sorry. No, this is not okay. And let's be real. I was real. I thought I'm struggling with this. The truth is, if ukikuta mwana, very few. I've probably met 2 men in my whole life who said their wives wanted more sex than they wanted. I was like, you lucky bastard. But all of us, the truth is, you will not get enough.
You'll never get enough.
You'll never get enough. And guys, the truth is, this is just who you are. This is how God created you. Someone told me, any man ukimwacha idle na hana kazi ya kufanya, every 5 minutes anafikiria ngono. Every 5 minutes. So one, don't think that you are abnormal because you are thinking about it.
You're just human.
You are actually very normal. Number 2, God who gave you that ability na alikumba this way, knows that you have ability to actually use this for good. You lose so much energy thinking about it, while those energy you could use it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that is the reality.
Umeongea katika concept moja ya you hardly find, you say you've met only 2 men, ambao wanakuambia the women are the one, they demand sex more, than them. I want to bring it back to the concept zima ya watu kuchoka. I wouldn't say kuchoka really, because I'm trying to find but anyway, let me say as it is, and then tutaona kumbe kwamba unaweza kutoka kwenye I've read and I've heard conversation na watu wanakuambia kwamba yani I've just haven't had sex with my wife for some time, and it's not because I don't want to, it's just because it's just not happening. Do you believe there's such a thing kwamba yani inaweza tu ikatokea out of nowhere, or they usually trigger effect, they usually triggers, or kuna vitu ambavyo vinatokea ambavyo vinakuwa vinasababisha that feeling of men say, you know what, I just don't feel like doing it?
Well, yes. For us men, sex is more physical. For women, it's all emotion. It is up there, it is in their head. So, one, there are men about, if a man will say, oh, you know what, I just don't feel it. One, it's just either hii nyumba haina amani. Number one, ni vita. And number two, when she looks at his wife, hamuoni kama, yani there's no, ikifikia hapo, and if you're one of those listening to us, go and get counseling, kwa sababu your marriage is actually breaking up. Ikifika hiyo mahali ambao ukimwona mke wako you don't feel anything, basi you just know either umeanza depression ama something is very wrong, maybe with you. Na sasa kama with your wife hausikii, but outside ukienda unaisikia, and you are out there, honestly, go and seek help. Unaenda na mke wako, ongeeni, because you'll find someone like that is very frustrated at home. Mwanaume ana hasira saa zote, akifika nyumbani kwake ni vita tu, ni ugomvi, watu hawakai ndani. Na this one itakuwa ilianza kubuild slowly, ilianza kubuild, maybe yes, mke akukuwa nakupa the way you wanted, then maybe you start thinking maybe she is cheating on you and getting it somewhere else, and then suddenly, and the enemy, guys, the truth is this, hakuna another institution in this world ambayo ilikuwa created by God himself, and marriage is that institution created by God. Na alisema sio vyema kwa mtu kuwa peke yake. It's not good. So when you've been into that, the enemy is fighting that. I think Satan fights marriage more than he fights anything. I'll be honest with you. Kabla sijaoa, mimi nilikuwa natongoza wanawake. After kuoa, ni wanawake wananitongoza, ni wanawake wananifuata. So if you are married out there, one, don't think kwamba watu wote, wanawake wote ambao wamekuzunguka wamefurahi kwamba wewe umeoa. They will want that. So there are men that wakikwambia kwamba, oh, I just don't feel it. No. That is a result of too many things that have been going on. That's a result of either cheating that has been in that house from both sides. That, and just a small pause. Ukienda kutembea na mwanamke mwingine and you feel like she is giving you better than your wife, by the way, hiyo ni uongo. The truth is this. You have your wife because there are at least 80% of things you like in your wife. There are only 20 things that you will never find in your wife. And if you think that's it, ebu jaribu, nenda kwa huyu mwanamke who's giving you everything, calculate for 3 years. Hautamaliza 3 years, you'll come back to your wife. There's a reason why you are married to that woman that you are married to. Remember too, hata wewe mwenyewe,
You're not perfect.
You are not perfect. Kuna vitu ambavyo mke wako angeliulizwa. Ungeshtuka.
Yeah.
Ungeshtuka.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is one. And for women, there's so many women will, if they were honest, they will tell you kwamba sisi waume zao tunawabaka. We rape them. Because we've not prepared them psychologically. Sio tu tangu asubuhi mmekuwa ugomvi, inafika usiku sasa ndio unaanza kugusagusa, unamwambia hebu geuka nipe. She's not ready. It will be a completely dry place you are going, and utamuumiza.
She'll not enjoy it.
Wewe mwenyewe unaweza kuja hata kujiumiza. So for our wives, you need to prepare. Kwa sababu just remember, when you are dating, what were some of the things you are doing to her that were pushing her to give you everything that she was giving you, being nice to you the way she was? Number one, utakuta you did not spend a whole day without calling her, and calling her with a nice name. You took her places. You bought flowers. You took her for dinner.
You're doing all the right things.
You did
right?
all the right things.
Yeah.
In fact, that's the reason why she said yes. When was the last time you brought her flowers? When was the last time you made her breakfast in bed? Umwambia, darling, welala, tuacha mimi. Wewe utasema ati uzungu, sio uzungu. Come on, guys.
And I think for most of us, once we get married, we get too comfortable. as
No,
men. I don't know if we get too comfortable or tunakuja na excuse kwamba sasa maisha ni magumu. We have to look at, all these other vitu vinavyoingia, kwa we get too distracted, no?
No, we feel like it is our right. Sasa wewe we literally almost make our wives to be our slaves. So kazi yake ni akuoshe nguo, akupigie chakula, akutandikie kitanda na akupe sex whenever you want it. And the unfortunate things, kuna wanaume wengine you will want it morning, mchana na jioni, kama lunch, breakfast na dinner. I'll tell you. So I started feeling like at some point that I was not getting enough from my wife. That my wife was not very, she cannot handle my sexual desires. Tukakubaliana, wasema, let's try this. For the next 25 days, we will have sex every single day.
Who posed that challenge? You or wewe ulikuwa na shida zako. Who came up with the solution between you and her?
We were two couples.
Yeah.
Me and my friend.
Yeah.
So this is the crazy thing.
Yeah.
We're really buddies.
Yeah.
My problem was mi nilikuwa naona miss it party.
Yeah.
My friend, mke wake alikuwa naona yeye hapati. So we actually sat, and I hope you guys who are married out there, you have someone that you can actually be real with.
Yeah.
Who's it does help.
Yeah.
That way kwanza tunajua I'm not the only one who's going through this.
Yeah.
So, of course I came with the idea. Tukaulizana, are you guys ready? Yes. So can we do this? Just let's try it for 25 days. Every
day,
single day. And see how far we can do it. I promise you the first day, nilipiga usiku na asubuhi.
You're like, this is
it.
it.
This is it.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Did I go 7 days into it? Misuli yote inauma. Then you start realizing, okay, it's like it's a job. Giza inaanza kuingia, unafikiria, my gosh.
Yeah, like, not again.
No, not again.
Yeah.
Not again. So then you realize the reason why God created sex, it's not physical. It's so that it can connect all of us emotionally. When you are at a very healthy place, and she is at a very healthy place, spiritual and mentally, you enjoy it. You actually feel like, yeah, this is really good. And see your vita.
Yeah.
It will never go away. And I always tell my guys friends who are like, okay, I have a wife and I'll have 3 other women out there. When they say, wakati mke wangu cannot, then I go there. Guys, the truth is, you are the temple of Christ. I always say, when you hekalu lake. And when you and your wife are having sex, this union it's more than physical. It's actually very spiritual. I'll be more scared of other spiritual union, maroho ambao utakuja kubeba kupitia ngono kuliko HIV, AIDS ama kisonono. Those one can be cured. But you might bring some things in your home that will actually break you completely. Na wale wanaume ambao wanasema when you look at your wife, you don't feel anything. Who did you sleep with before? That just try and take a time pause, go back, reverse, weka akili yako kwenye reverse. Uende mpaka hiyo, kumbuka wakati ulikuwa unamwonaga kila unasisimuka. What happened? And then immediately you might be finding pengine ulitembea na mtu fulani, and right after that you came home, you look at your wife like nothing. Sio kwamba the other person amekupa vizuri, ni maroho tunabeba, tunazileta nyumbani. And you just see when something like that start happening, no peace. Haugombani tu na mke wako, unaanza kugombana watoto wako pia.
Yeah.
Unaanza kuona nyumba yako ni kama jela. Yeah. You just want to come at night and sleep and go. Is really that what you wanted? Is that really what you envisioned as a husband?
Yeah.
So, people who break most of our homes, it's us.
It's us, yeah. I always say this, Kona, a friend of mine, and I said this in the last episode of the podcast, a friend of mine alikuwa anasema kwamba his belief ni kwamba mara nyingi ndoa ikiharibika ni mwanaume ndio chance. Na concept yake ni kwamba ile concept kwamba mwanaume ni kiongozi, mwanaume ni leader, mwanaume ni, kwa hiyo you should be able to take charge of things. You should be able to take charge of things. Now taking charge of things, it also in his own words ni kwamba it also includes knowing when there's a problem and how to deal with the problem and how to solve matatizo before they escalate na katika point ambao you cannot really control it anymore, right? Sadly tunaishi katika generation ambayo, well, it's not sadly, but tunaishi when dunia imebadilika sasa hivi. Well, our parents stayed na walifanya, ndio maana tuna a lot of African parents ambao wana watoto all over, lakini our mother stayed, right? Our mother stayed. Now tuko katika generation ambao women will walk out like hivyo tu, kwamba wakiona kwamba they no longer tolerate some of the bullshit that we do as men, right? So anaondoka na even katika context ya Tanzania tunapoishi hapa sasa hivi ni kwamba sasa hivi tena haishangazi tena kusikia ndoa imevunjika. Zamani ilikuwa nini tena, lakini siku hizi no, mtu anasema tumeshindwana, tusije tukauana humu ndani, kila mtu aishi maisha yake, you know, you take your peace. Kwa hiyo aka-equate kwamba it's because a lot of us men right now we are not as responsible as our fathers were for all the failures and all the weaknesses our fathers and our parents had. One of the things ambao walikuwa wanafanya kwamba is believed ni kwamba walikuwa wanaweza kucontain familia na kuweza kusema, you know what, we still need to live wote, ingaje some of them were toxic na our mother struggle. Sasa hivi ni wanaume ambao we cannot do that, you know, na tunaendeshwa sana na mambo yanayotokea duniani. Because of that we are just in short to a generation of weak men.
Well, probably I'll go a little bit the other way around. One, really I'll say for our fathers, I think our mothers the society did not allow them to express themselves. If the society did, they probably could have left our fathers. Wangeondoka pia. Ni kwa sababu wakati akitoka kuondoka, mama zao walikuwa wanaambia, kwani unafikiri sisi ndio tunakaa, hakuna hiyo shida? Nao wanakaa. Lakini siku hizi kuna women's right, kuna utanawazi. Mwanamke ataona nisije nikafaa hapa bure, acha mimi niende njia zangu na wewe uende njia zako. And actually one thing you touched which is very 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 sensitive ni kuna vitu vingine wewe angalia. Kama kuna mtu baba yake alizaa nje, kuna high probability na yeye atazaa nje. Kuna vitu we inherit from our fathers bila kujua. utaona tabia, you watch, tabia ambao ulikuwa unachukia kwa baba yako, you did not like it about your father, most highly you will be doing the same things. Ndio maana kuna wakati wanakuambia nenda uombe kuvunja hizo those ambao you've inherited. We need to be prayed for as men. We actually don't realize this, but nitakwambia kwa sababu yes, we are the head. Sisi ndio wenye nyumba, vichwa vya nyumba. And the enemy is fighting men a lot because anajua if he gets us, families are destroyed, and that could go generation to generation. Why did you get married? Why are you in that relationship? I think that is the key thing. A lot of marriages today zinavunjika kwa sababu we don't know why did we get married. I work with a lot of young men and women. I'll tell you, there's one young man, he's probably 22 years, and wanted to get married to a woman who was 2 years older than him. Nikamuliza, haya niambie kwa kweli, kwa nini unataka kuoa? And he was honest, aliniambia, sitaki kutenda dhambi na I want to have sex.
He was very honest.
Yeah, nikamwambia wrong reason, kwa sababu ukweli nikikuonyesha picha yangu wakati tulioa au picha mke wangu na size just we've changed. And our eyes, sisi wanaume, we want our wives to remain exactly the same. Ndio maana utakuta libaba ya miaka 55 anaitwa baby na katoto ka miaka 20.
Nice, genuinely happy.
Na he's happy.
He's happy.
Baby, yes, aibu. We libaba. It's because in our mind, that's what I still remember my 21-year-old wife that I got married. I want her to stay like that. Actually, wewe unajisahau kwamba kumbe hata na wewe mwenyewe umebadilika.
Yes.
Hauko the same.
Yeah.
So I think that is remembering, why did you really get married? Value that. Go back there with your wife. Now, talk about it. Talk about it. You will never, kama kuna mwanaume ambaye atasema they are satisfied with sex, that is not true. Ni kama unasikia njaa kila unashiba alafu unasikia njaa tena. Same thing. So it will not really end. That's there. So you need to know how to control this. And that will really help you.
I was watching this clip player before coming here on Instagram. This guy called Charlemagne the God. He's a TV and radio presenter in the US, but he's championing for mental health.
Yeah.
Akanasema kwamba it's hard. Yani haielewi kwa nini hakutani na wanaume ambao nasema, you know what? I used to be a cheater. I cheated on my wife before. We worked it out, but ever since then, I've committed to my wife, and I've worked on myself. I've gone to therapy. I've gotten help. I've reconnected with God. Things have really, really, really improved. Like in my household, things have really, really improved. And the saying kwamba men hatuongea hivyo kwa sababu maybe we don't learn. And there's that notion kwamba once a cheater, always a cheater. It's like people don't think kwamba unaweza ukabadilika. Na vivyo kuna concept nyingine ya cycles tulizonazo zina to influence zaidi kwenda upande huo kuliko upande wa kunyoka. Kwamba a lot of men tumezunguka na cycle na kwamba why you committed, kwa nini don't cheat? There are a lot of women around here, rather than na watu ambao kwamba, you know what, stay married, make it work, don't do this, it's not good, it doesn't help, you know, you're horny, go home, you have a wife, na vitu kama hivyo. Why do you think is that way? Now you actually believe kwamba the more we commit, the more as men tunaweza tuka progress, the more we commit to our wives and to our spouses.
So I think every man wants to commit.
I think so too.
Like if you ask them, they'll tell you, no, I want to commit, and I want to commit to only my wife. But not every day you'll find what you wish for. It's a journey. We have to work through it. A lot of men I don't know sijui kama ni our pride or what it is, you will find the number of men who go and seek help or who go for counseling, they're very few. Kwanza hapa Tanzania nitakuhakikishia kuna wanaume wengi ambao ilibidi tuende counseling, hatuendi counseling, tunaogopa kwenda counseling.
I agree.
Because either tunajua tutaambiwa ukweli ambao hatutaki kusikia,
that uncomfortable truth. Yeah.
Sawa. Na kama unajua unahitaji msaada na hautafuti msaada, ukweli ni utavunjika na utakufa. Ni our pride. That's all. So you'd rather go sit in a bar watching game, gossip about it, lament about it to wanaume wengine ambao watakuwa wanakuambia, "Hey bana, umeona?
We'll go through the same thing."
Yeah. Alafu unakuja unajisikia kumbe sio mimi peke yangu. That does not help you. In fact, nitakwambia kama kuna something that I'm learning, I'm not saying I'm good at it. Yeah. Is try and make your wife to be your friend and actually talk to her about it. So this practice I've done, I'm not saying kwamba niko vizuri and I don't make mistakes, no. Every Wednesday we committed to just be a time for me and Jackie to go outside, go and get, kama tuna hela tunaenda kwa dinner nzuri, kama tuna hela tunaenda WhatsApp pizza, WhatsApp chips, tunakaa hapo. But we sit, just a time to talk. And this is the question we'll always ask each other. How are you? How's your heart?
How are you?
And how's your heart? And we committed, let's be honest. Let's try and tell each other, this is really how I'm feeling. And I will tell her things like, honestly, I'm not getting enough. Because wewe ambao unasema mke wako hakupi, have you ever told her that you're not getting enough, that you need more?
Na vivyo katika lugha nzuri.
Na katika lugha nzuri.
Language matters.
Yeah. No, language really matters.
In terms of how you express that.
Yeah. And what are you doing so that she can give it to you? In fact, do you know kuna kakitabu kanaitwa 5 love languages?
Yeah.
Unajua mke wako ukimfanya nini ndio anajisikia kama kweli unampenda and you care for her? Or are you too busy to even do that? You'd rather go spend 90 minutes, actually an hour and a half, watching Liverpool beating Man U 7.
Why are you getting personal?
Yeah. But to take 45 minutes and just say, come, let's walk with your wife is hard. So that for me, it's one. Number 2, guys, you have a living room, you have a kitchen, you have a bedroom, kama muna washing machine, you have a washing machine room. Hizo zote ni vyumba. Sawa. Kwani nani amesema kwamba wewe na mke wako sex yenu ni tu kitandani kila siku? That's really very funny. I always wonder, why did they call the man on top and woman down missionary? Hey, come on. Because wa missionary ndio kazi yao. Jamani mnatulaumu si wa missionary.
What's the essence? You missionaries, yeah.
Guys, I want to challenge you. You can actually make sex in your life very interesting. And it is, one, change places. Why do you always have to do it in the bedroom?
After dark.
After dark. Why do you switch light off? Put light on. Do you actually know how your wife's body looks like? Do you know if your wife love massages or not? By the way, the best way, I'll tell you, when my wife is tired and I know leo nataka, I offer her a massage kwa sababu najua ita end with a happy ending. So, do that. I mean, honest truth is that zamani, I come from a very background of church where tulikuwa tunaimba, tunasimama, na nilikuwa naimba kwenye choir. We stand straight. You don't dance. In fact, walikuwa nasema guitar na all the drums, those one are being used with the enemy. Ni shetani ameleta hizo vyombo. Si tuimbe tu na sauti. That is the mentality that people come with in marriage too. Oh, with sex, I cannot try things because those are evil. Now I'm talking to you Christian men who really just, even your honeymoon mulizima hata. Na tangu siku ya kwanza mpaka leo ni missionary. Akijaribu aina tofauti unaambia hiyo ni dhambi. We cannot try that. BS, try it. In fact, if you're out there, go and buy a Cosmopolitan magazine. Watch it with your wife. Tell him, okay, situjaribu hii. That it's good to try things with your wife instead of you always say, no, I cannot try it. I'm actually very open-minded. I'll say to you, like, I try things with my wife. And it's because I need to keep her engaged. I want her to not feel bored with sex. I want her to feel like, wow, this is nice. So I do read.
You do your research.
I do my research. And I'm careful to not sin in my research. I'm going on a very thin line right here. Where if you're not careful, you might end up be doing, usije ukasema Alexis alisema ati but all I will say, there are books that are out there to help married couples to know, okay, what should I do? How do I go do some research? Ongea na watu wengine. Ongea na mke wako. Ask her, where do you like it the most when I touch you?
Yeah, but that can only happen if she's a really, really close friend.
She
right?
has to be.
She has to be.
You guys need to learn to talk.
Yeah.
Sio hiyo ndo ambao mlikuwa mnaongea lakini siku hizi you don't talk. No. That's not. In fact, if you're one of those, go and seek counseling. Seriously, there's a reason why you loved that woman. Go seek counseling. There's nothing that cannot be talked out. Na I'll tell you, wanaume wengi ambao wanasema my wife is cheating. Na wewe ni kwa sababu you cheat. Let's just be honest. If your wife knew everything that you do for behind her back, and now you change your place, what would you have done?
Would you have stayed?
Would you have stayed? Probably not. So I think men, one, let's learn to know that we are human beings. We are weak. We have weaknesses. Accept it. Let's seek help. Let's talk. Tafuta watu ambao you know they can talk to you. Ask them hard questions.
Alexis, how long have you been married now?
15 years.
15 years. Wow. I'm going on my 10th next year.
Hongera sana.
Thank you. So what is, when it comes to marriage and sex, what do you think has been the lowest point for you? That made you like, okay, now I need to make sure that I need to make it work.
I'll say the lowest one for me, it was after our firstborn baby came.
Kids. Yeah.
So when we had our first child, I started feeling like I did not have a place. She gave all the attention to the baby. And then the second thing, I was there when my daughter was born. Niliingia kule, nikakaa kuna vitu niliona. Na wakati niliviona jinsi mtoto anatoka. Hamu ya kurudi pale iliisha kidogo. Sio kidogo.
Yeah, it's psychological.
Yeah.
Na ndio maana I think some doctors wanasema don't go in as men. Don't go. Wanasema hivyo. We're not saying you shouldn't go if you don't go, but this is Alex's personal experience.
So,
right?
I saw, and after she came from the hospital, we needed to kind of alichanwa. So if you are married, you know what that happens when mtoto kichwa ni kikubwa managoma lazima they increase the way so that mtoto anatoka. And then they kind of wanashona. So I needed to help her to clean it. So all that combined, honestly, just I felt like my sexual desires went down completely. Now, also because she could see it, she will tell me things like, "Oh, it looks like I'm no longer the same. You don't look at me the same." So sio kwamba wao hawaoni na hawajui. They know and they see it. Well, I knew if it's continuing.
But then you couldn't agree. You're like, no, be okay.
Kwani unakubali wewe ni fala. Unakubali.
Huwezi kukubali.
No, and you know it's okay, but you know it. It's not the same. And when it's not the same, the way you literally put things, the way you look at her, it's different. So I needed to seek help. I went to a counselor.
You went to therapy?
I went to therapy. It was going to cost my marriage. And the other thing was, at that time, both my mother and her mother were around. So it was really the lowest. So I went for therapy. And there are things that I had forgotten how to do. Not I've forgotten iliacha tu. I did not have interest to do it. Kwani sini mimi nilitaka mtoto. Mtoto silikuwa wa kwangu tu. And between me and her, who should have been very ashamed, feeling like my body is destroyed, it's her. I needed to change how I look at her. I needed to know that sex is not only the act. By the way, you can actually connect with your wife emotionally and just feel satisfied. Let me say this again. You can emotionally connect with your wife and really feel like, you know what? I don't even need to have sex with you. I'm actually feeling very satisfied that you are here. I learned to say, thank you for carrying that baby for 9 months. Thank you for making your body go the way it is. And I was asked to leave our 3 months baby at home for a night. Alikuwa bado ananyonya. And to take my wife out for a night out. I had to steal her clothes because I knew she wouldn't have agreed to go. I packed her clothes and thought we were going for dinner. And I carried a breast pump because I knew lazima tu. Mazua yatatoka. So we went out in a really nice place. Had a dinner and I told her, I think we need us. Because I don't feel like we are together. Tunaanza kupotezana. Mpaka leo, if Jackie was here and you ask her, she will tell you that was in our 15 years of marriage, that was probably one of the best nights. Where we reconnected, we talked, and yes, we had sex that day. Probably the best one. And that, if it wasn't for that, because she also was feeling distant, she was feeling that I did not love her body anymore. And she knew she did not make herself pregnant. I made her pregnant.
So she was kind of like mad at you as well. Like, you did this.
Yes. So, and I'll tell you the funny thing, our second born, I didn't want another child because I was scared to go through that. And she knew it. And we talked about, she told me, you know what? No. We need to go through this again. It will help us. It will help you. And it will help her. So guys, marriage is work.
It is.
It's not easy. If you think marriage is sex, it is more than that.
Yeah, and somebody sent me a text like a while ago when we started doing the podcast. Akawa anasema kwamba we should talk more about that period when a woman is having a baby, not men's mental health. Because in most cases, and you understand it, because, and I think men, we don't talk about it because we don't want to be selfish, in the sense that kwamba, during that time, if you're good enough and you have a good support system, a woman would get all the help that she needs.
Yeah.
At least physically.
Physically.
You have, if they have sisters, the mothers-in-law, everybody else is there just to make sure. And if you look at it in the bigger picture, they're really there to help. Like, it's having a baby, it's hectic. I have 2 kids, so I understand. It's hectic, you know? So all the support system inakuja pamoja kwa ajili ya kumsaidia yule mama. Now, as a man as well, you have to be there as well to play your part. But in most cases, we don't speak about what a man is going through. Especially kama you actually uliingia hospitali, we don't speak about that thing. Now, it has a very big impact. And the multiplier effect in a lot of other things too.
Well, and I'll tell you, even the worst part of it is, the baby's born, the baby doesn't need you as a man. You feel like, what am I good for?
Yeah.
Everybody's attention is on your wife
and the
baby. And the baby. Your life has suddenly changed. You try to carry the baby, you are a stranger.
You don't know how to carry the baby.
You don't know how to change her, and you don't have boobs to feed her.
Yeah.
So you just feel like, and yes, you start feeling like, I belong nowhere.
Yeah.
And a lot of men who are good guys, that's when they start cheating.
In that kind of sense, how do we, like, as men, how do we get that into our heads? Because, and this is the part about sometimes our homos wetu wa zamani, they don't speak to us as unapoingia kwenye ndoa, unapoenda kwa baba, they don't speak to us about this thing. Now maybe because babu na wenyewe pia hawakuambiwa, so they had to learn the hard way. Now kuna ile issue, wewe si mwanaume bwana, we put you in the pool.
Yeah.
You find your way to any, utafanya njia ya kufloat na kutoka in that pool, you know? But I feel like kama wanaume tungekuwa na conversations zaidi. So like say my little brother just got married. Those are the kind of things that me and him we can talk about, because I've experienced it and I understand, so we can actually have conversation like, you know, once you have a kid, these things might happen, so, you know, be careful, do 1, 2, 3. But me, I did not get that, you know. And most men hawakupata paycheck. The best that you got was when your wife is pregnant. Your life has to continue, so find someone to sort you out. And that's like you said, that's why a lot of men wanaanza kucheat na nini, extramarital affairs zinatokea na vitu kama hivyo. So I guess my question is, as men, how do we address that? How do we get comfortable with having that conversation with our partners and with fellow men as well?
Well, I'll say 2 things. One, let not our perception become a reality in our head. So you start to perceive like you're not needed, like you're not important, and there will be a voice that will tell you, yes, you are not.
Because that's what you need to hear.
What you want to hear.
Yeah.
So go and find your value somewhere else. At least kuna same. And the truth too is, kama una mwanamke ambao does not even care about the cleanliness of the place and all that, suddenly you come, nyumba yako inaanza kunuka harufu ya maziwa, inzi wamejaa and all those. So you feel like, this place is just crazy. This one, and I mentioned, I had both of my mothers there. So this is what I did. I asked both of them to go. Because I was not feeling like I was needed by my wife. Everybody's helping her, all right? I was not feeling like I belong anywhere. Kwangu sio kama kwangu tena. Sawa. So I'm like, no. And there was a friend who advised me, like, this is hard. Utakufa. And yes, I was going to probably start cheating. So we talked to my wife, and it was hard to tell both mothers, please go, leave us alone.
Yeah, we've got this.
And that was actually the bad thing, because then, wakati mtoto analia usiku, it was me and her to deal with it. I started feeling, okay, I am important. I need to be here at home. I need to come home quickly. I need to make food for my wife. Because, hey, you go busy
You
now.
started to feel needed. Yes.
So, and feeling important.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, too, she doesn't have, I did not realize that having both mothers there, too, was hard on her. Because every mother know how to raise a child in a certain way.
Yeah.
Na kila mama anamwambia afanya hivi, afanya hivi. So now it is kwa nini unamvalisha mtoto socks? Vue mtoto all those.
Wakati also she wants to do it her way.
Her way.
So it's
So when all of them went, we started discovering our way.
parenting.
Try and error on parenting, and that was beautiful. So me, I'll tell you, hiyo vitu ati mama mkwe aje akae kwenu, kwani alikuwepo wakati mnatiana mimba, acha mama mkwe akae kwake. Wewe na mke wako kaeni wawili. Wakitaka kuja waje, wawatembelee, warudi waende nyumbani. It will help you a lot as a man to feel responsible. Kwanza, it will help your finance to, let's just be honest. Suddenly sio kwamba una bili za kulipa za hospitali, una pampers za kununua, the food schedule changes, lazima supu nyingi na nyama nyingi kwa nyumba, and then the number of people increase. Jamani, amwambie waende kwanza. It will help your finance, it will help your marriage, it will help you and your wife to talk all the time. Because
I'm
that's
no
the
option.
thing.
You don't
I'm no
have
option.
no. You have to talk. Yeah.
But bila hiyo utakuwa unaenda kazini, unarudi unakuta wamama watatu wamekaa hapo na pengine majirani, kwa sababu wamama wawili wako hapo na wao na marafiki zao pia watakuja. Suddenly unashangaa, kwa siku mnakula kilo 2 ya mchele, imeisha. Vitu vinaenda. And suddenly you are feeling a lot of pressure coming, and it's not healthy.
It's not. And actually you said it, nadhani pia and the presence pia watu wengine during that time, because now your wife has that support and you don't. You come back home, either unashinda chumbani tu, or unashinda on the sitting room, or you're always on your phone.
Actually, sitting room is taken. Your TV is not yours. Wao wanataka wasikilize kwaya, wao wanataka kuangalia mpira.
Go to the bar, watch it somewhere else.
Exactly.
Wow. And that's the thing about Nathan Pierce. This is why we're having this kind of conversation, and this is why this podcast is important for me and for men out there, because you don't find this kind of talks in a lot of cycles or a lot of places about this come on home tuna hang. Matter of fact, ukipata mtoto, what we do to celebrate by taking you out of the house.
Exactly.
Let's go have some beers. We're happy for you. But we don't talk about, you know what, things are not going to be the same. And this is what you need to know. And you understand she needs you now. She might not say it. She might not know it. But then
that's a good point.
She might not know that she needs you. And then unakuta mtu yuko moody ana hasira. It's all because you as a man hukufikiria kwamba hukuweza kumweka na needs zake pale mbele, kujua kwamba naye maisha yake yamebadilika pia.
Exactly.
You know, there's a child here. So I think for me the realization also was like, mimi maisha yangu ilikuwa naendelea. Like I'll still go to work, nirudi, if I want to chill with the guys, I still can. But for her, it was life has changed.
No, it's completely changed.
Completely changed. So even for me, it took a while. It hit me kwamba, oh snap. This is what you need to do, because this is what she's going through. You know what I mean?
And so it will be so nice that you walk that walk together. Actually, when her life has changed, it takes us time to realize that ours has changed too, but it's actually both of our lives have changed.
I agree.
And we need to literally stop. And guys, if you don't talk to your wife, talk about it. How can I support you better now? Because the truth is, you don't know. You've never been in this situation before. So has she. And let her know, I've never been a father before. This is my first time. And I know you've never been a mother before. This is your first time. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And since we were talking about sex too, and what do you do when the baby is there? That might mean 40 days if you are lucky, or more. What do you do? Talk about it to your wife. There are other ways. Hapo ndo nyie ambao mnajifanya Wakristo zaidi mnafikiria kunyonyana ni vibaya, shauri yenu.
Kila mtu ashinde mechi zake.
Kila mtu ashikilie vya kwake.
Yeah.
Use other ways that are available. Because if you don't, man, I promise you. Tena shetani anajuaga hiyo wakati. You don't even need to go and look. They will look for you. They will look for you. And you know the first people who look for you? The best friends of your wife. Ni hawa. Oh, shame. Nakuja kumsaidia kupika. Na utategwa tu vizuri. Na si macho. Na wanajua macho. Shetani anajua si tunanguka na macho. Nashangaa mtu anakusaidia kudeki. Alafu anainama ukiangalia hivyo unaangalia mpaka mahali haikufaa kuangalia. If you have eyes like mine.
You see things
you
through.
See things through.
Yeah.
So, na unajikuta mimi huku hali ni pakavu, kwangu nyumbani kukavu. Sasa nifanyeje? No, talk about it. Honestly. Talk about it. Yeah. And tell your wife, okay, now ni siku 20, I know I'm not allowed to do anything, to touch you anything. Let's go different ways. What should we do?
What should we do? Yeah.
That is way better.
Yeah. So I guess the essence of it is really conversations, right?
It is key.
Conversation is key. And that is one thing I think as men we just need to learn how to be better communicators.
And you know, there's someone told me, which is so true. As human beings, we don't realize we do have 750 ways of communicating other than verbal. So hata kama usipoongea na kumwambia kwamba saizi you're frustrated, anakunyima and you want to go out, your body shows it. You're communicating it. So just better talk about it. Guys, please let's talk. Over communicating is better. Talk.
You can never go wrong with
You can never go wrong with talking.
Yeah.
Na ni sawa hata kama hiyo kuongea mtaishia na the voices rises up. That's okay. There's no marriage where people don't argue. Yeah. Argue, talk about it, and you'll end up nicely. It's really good. It's really good. Now, one practice for me, when we fight, because we do, I don't leave the house. Because I know when I leave the house, I will find the reason to do something stupid.
And it will be justifiable.
And it will be very justifiable. So I stay at home. And me and Jackie, we agreed. Kama kuna siku lazima tutaomba pamoja. When we fight. Sometimes it will be at 3 a.m. Because we argued and you just feel like it requires a lot of humility at some point. Like, can we pray? And after praying, things do change. Things do change. And I'm not saying this to say that I'm a good man, no. But in the last 15 years we've been together, there's not a single day I've slept outside my bedroom or she has slept outside her bedroom. And it doesn't mean kwamba had to go back. We do fight. I am a jerk sometimes. But we agreed. We are not sleeping in different rooms. We will sleep in the same room. Our bed is not 6 by 6. It's 5 by 6. Where ukilala ukigeuka
lazima. Yeah.
And I kept it like that purposely. Because I know we will fight and she will be right there next to me and it will feel so uncomfortable that we need to talk about it. Hata mkigeuziana mgongo lazima kutakuwa na sehemu zinagusana, kwa hivyo basi lazima muongee.
Yeah, you have to connect.
You have to connect.
You have to connect.
It was challenging when we had babies, but
how many babies you got now?
Was that?
How many babies you have now?
2.
Amazing.
2 girls.
Yeah, I have 2 girls too. It's hectic, but beautiful.
But beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so lazima watoto walale katikati at some point, but still we've never increased the size of our bed because of the kids. So this has worked for me. That might not work for you.
Yeah.
This has been my way of doing it. Maybe you are one of those.
You have to find the way that works for you.
Find a way,
but make it work.
Yeah.
But make it work.
But talk to each other. Find someone who can talk to you and tell you the truth. Stop thinking that all these fantasies about sex in marriage. It is beautiful. You can actually have fun with your wife. Do you like the women who wear lingerie, sexy lingerie? Go and buy it for her. Tell her, I want you to put this. And then I'll want you to remove it myself. You can make your wife to be what you want.
Yeah.
So,
but also as a man, you should also be willing to listen to what she wants, because she also has to make you be what she wants. They have desires too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth is, start in the morning. Do you know which color of underwear did your wife wear today? Ama hujui hata. Do you know if she bought it or you bought it for her? Does she know you? Does she knows everything? That for me, every day morning, when I look at her, and I'll tell you it's not easy. I had to practice this. To tell her you look beautiful. I want her to hear it from me. That's how I will be able to get it at night. Do you just
unafanya marination from morning?
From morning. Yeah. When you walk in, or you are leaving, do you give her a quick kiss and just say goodbye? See you later. Wakati mtoto alikuja alibadilisha jina lake akageuka kuwa mama fulani. Ama she still hear the honey love baby from you. So I think it's all that combined. Do your friends know about your wife? Do you talk about your wife? Or do you always complain about your wife? Is there something good things about your wife that maybe you need to start? Because that is how you cultivate vitu ambavyo nataka you go, and that's what nourishes all that, and at the end it's good sex. So anyway,
yeah, this was a good one. Alexis, I remember wakati tunaanza kuzungumza, I didn't talk about what you do. I went straight to the point. And can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
I work for Young Life, and it's a Christian organization, and we go after high school, and just kids from 13 years to around 22 years. You meet them vijana, adolescents.
Yeah, adolescent.
And we literally we follow those who don't know Jesus, build friendship with them. We earn the right to be heard with them. Yani lazima ununue haki ya kusikilizwa na wao. And when wakikusikiliza, you become the adult voice that helps them to navigate this life from that age. And for those who don't know Jesus, we tell them about our friend Jesus that loves them and that will want to change their lives. And when they give their life to Jesus, we spend 40 weeks doing discipleship with them, and just once a week sit and read a verse from what does it mean to be a new creation. When say everything has gone and behold everything is new, and second Timothy, what does that mean for me as a Christian? Second Thessalonians. And then what does it mean to walk and live this Christian life? And when we feel like they're grabbing that, what does it mean for you? Because everybody's a leader. What does it mean for you to be a leader in this community? But as a Christian, where can you start making change? How do your life impact life of others? In classrooms where you are, or among your friends. And we talk about life. We invite them in our homes. They see our homes. They see how we live. The first kid that I met in 2002 is now a father with 2 kids, taller and bigger than me.
You're literally a grandfather.
I'm literally a grandfather. Yeah.
Technically.
So that is really what we do.
Okay.
We are non-denominational, so we are not tied up kwa kanisa moja. The madhehebu yote are welcomed. And as long as unajua kwamba Yesu ni njia pekee ya kutupeleka kwa Baba, alikuja na alikufa na akafufuka, unakubali utatu wa Mungu Baba, Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu, na umekiri kuwa Yesu ni Bwana na Mwokozi wa maisha yako, uwe Mkatoliki, uwe Mlutheri, uwe Mpentekosto, that we are together, let's help our young people. It doesn't matter ulibatizwa maji ndevu ama fupi. Those are non-issues for us. So that's what I do.
Thank you. This has been a very good conversation for me, and I hope it will be a good it will be watakaosikiliza pia na wenyewe pia hope watapata vitu, because I love your honesty. I love kwamba basically you had to put in work to make it work, and hakuna there's no shortcut to this. You know, especially kwenye marriage, there's no shortcut to this. And waga naamini kwamba kama ukiweza kusort baadhi ya issues, na kwa wanaume wengi tukiweza kusort baadhi ya issues na we make it work inside our houses, then kutakuwa yani your house should be a fun place. You should be looking forward to going home, right?
That is true.
You should be looking forward to. Waga mimi naambia watu yani places ambazo I'm really comfortable ni nyumbani na kwenye gari. It's like I'm very comfortable in my car. I can listen to the music that, especially when I'm alone in the car. I can listen to the music that I want, to the podcast that I want, and all those kind of things. But also I'm looking forward to going home because it's nice kwa nyumbani, you know. So we would love for a lot of men, especially married men, to understand that. Now, wapo ambao wanapitia challenges right now. We know that. But also, you should try your best to make it work, you know?
Definitely.
You should try and
don't think you are the only one to be there.
Yeah.
There's no challenge ambao unapitia ambao hakuna mwanaume mwingine ameshawaipitia. Everybody has been there. Ya kwako maybe it just looks differently, but all in all it is the same. So don't think kwamba hakuna mtu anaweza kukuelewa. I will say silence will kill. Kikaa peke yako itakuumiza, itakupeleka mahali ambao haufai. Tafuta watu kuongea nao. Come to people like Mike. Come to us, we will talk to you. I mean, nobody is perfect. But I will say, Noah, this marriage life, it's like a house that you are building it with your own hand. And utaivunja kwa mkono wako mwenyewe.
Sasa Bible inasema mwanamke mpumbavu, na sometimes tunatumia hiyo kama wanaume.
But kuna wanaume wapumbavu ambao wanavunja nyumba yao kwa mikono yao
wenyewe. Very true. Very true. Alexis, thank you for this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mike.
Appreciate you. Thank you for this. It's one of those life-changing conversations, and I hope watakuwa impacted the same way ambao mimi have been impacted by this talk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Blessings, and thank you for your time. Guys, we love you out there. Let's keep doing this right. Remember, @Men the Podcast on Twitter, @Men the Podcast on Instagram if there's something you want to share with us. Nadia, kama unahitaji therapy ni @MindMattersTZ on Twitter and @MindMattersTZ on Instagram. There's a link kwenye bio. It will take you straight to the website, and then there's a way unaweza connect naye. Till next time, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Live. You're listening to With Men, the podcast.